Hi, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Molly G, back at y'all on another episode of Running With You. And today we got to run about obsession, man. Yes, yes, yes. I usually do a lot of current event content, dating content, but sometimes here and there I do movie reviews, especially if it's a movie that, just got everybody in a frenzy, everybody just talking about it. And they did a damn good job with this movie. And I think a lot of people are, still going to see it to this day. Like it's still hard to get a ticket, I heard. But I do think the movie was very good. I do think the movie was, very entertaining. I do think it's a little bit overhyped, but I did enjoy it. I think what made it, good, but it could have been great was it not having a plot twist at the end. When it comes to thrillers or suspense thrillers, psychological thrillers, I love a good plot twist at the end. Like you need that plot twist for that chef's kiss, and it didn't have that. It basically just went off, and that was it. Now, a lot of people feeling like it's going to be a sequel. I think the director said it was going to be a sequel, but I don't think it's going to be a sequel, directly from this one. It's just going to be another movie, probably with just a different cast, but kind of like how Smile 2 was. But now I got to get into the fan theories. A lot of people got theories on this. A lot of people feel like that Nikki, after the Willow Wish, was actually the cat spirit in her body because the cat was like the only thing that loved Bear. And Bear said, I wish Nikki loves me more than anyone in the world. Now it don't take that much to love Bear more than anyone in the world because a lot of people ain't really love Bear. Even his whole friend group ain't love him. Ian was sleeping with Nikki. Nikki was still messing with Ian on a slick. They kept that from him. And Sarah, she knew this and she kept it from him. She only ain't tell him until she was getting kind of jealous that Nikki was messing with him. So the whole friend group, in my opinion, was dirtbags. Now I don't think none of them deserve to, get happen what happened to them, but they was all deep down inside had their own issues. And where the parents was at, and why nobody, talk to Nikki. Like one thing I think the movie could have did better of was having more of, Ian and Sarah with Nikki and, them talking to Nikki from their perspective, trying to figure out why are you acting so strange lately? Because everybody in the whole movie was just like, they were just like blowing it to the side, like as if this girl has not changed completely. I think the movie could have did better with that. One thing about it, I do think that the fan theories was Nikki Willow. We're gonna call okay, it's two sides of Nikki. We're gonna call the Willow Nikki, and then we're gonna call it the real Nikki. They feel like Willow Nikki is in the spirit of the cat because the cat loved Bear more than anybody else. That's why it explains all the crazy movements, by the blinds, hanging out in the corner while he's sleeping, while he's going to work, she's standing there and peeing on herself. Like that'll explain all these things. Some people feel like, oh, that's not that. It's just looking weird because, they're fighting for control of the body in that moment. Especially in the moment where Bear was sleeping and she came close and then backed up. Because it's almost as if she was about to attack Bear. But Willow Nikki pulled back when the real Nikki was about to attack Bear so she could break the curse because she already knew what's going on. She basically is like a prisoner in her own body and just a shell of herself, but she's witnessing and experiencing everything that's going on around her. She just don't have full control. Now, I thought it was some type of trigger word or something like that make her snap, and have just a few seconds to say what she got to say before, Willow Nikki take back over. But it wasn't no trigger word or nothing. It just happened at random. So it happened at random in the restaurant. It happened in the little kickback by Ian's party. It happened at random when he was chilling in the bed. Like, it happened a couple of times throughout the movie, maybe like 6 times. And she only have just a few seconds to, say what she got to say. And sometimes she'll do little messages, like in the one picture, she'll say it, not me. Or when Willow Nikki was sleeping, she was still being able to speak to Bear, what even without the mouth moving. Like, that was weird. Like, how is she able to speak without the mouth moving? Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions with this movie, but it was still a good movie nonetheless. But I do think that, as far as the cat theory, I think that Nikki was just trying to emulate, cat behavior, because Bear loved his cat, just like she was trying to emulate Sarah's corpse, putting the hair on, putting the tattoos on, because she knew that Bear had feelings for Sarah all this time, or at least leading up to, all the craziness. And she's seeing Sarah is more cool and chill. He like, well, that's probably more my speed. It's crazy how you fall in love with a girl, get her to be madly in love with you, and you still gonna cheat just because she ain't working right. And that was the whole thing, man. He was calling this number, trying to file a complaint, and he thought he even had a option to cancel. And he was like, no, I don't want to cancel. And he didn't even cancel. Like, he didn't even try to cancel. He was like, no, I just wanted to be, altered, and he really was assaulting this girl because she didn't have any free will. Like, at first he thought the wish was fake. It come to fruition and be true. And this girl was doing everything against her will. She wanted to move. She wanted to, she had plans of being a writer and things like that. She just, all her dreams, all her future is just done and gone. And just like she basically a prisoner her on her own body. And he knew that, because she was conveying messages to him and he didn't want to believe it, And my thing, where the parents was at? Where's his parents? Where's her parents? The only parent was, I think, Sarah's dad. And he's the real victim of the movie too, because he lost all his co-workers and his daughter brutally. And this whole friend group is a shitty friend group. Ian sleeping with Nikki behind Bear back, knowing Bear got feelings, giving him bad advice, saying, call her freaky Nikki. Nikki sleeping with Ian, knowing that Bear got feelings for her, which I think she did. And Sarah, all of a sudden, she want Bear because she see Nikki is messing with Bear. They don't want you until somebody else wants you. Old classic tale of, not wanting somebody until somebody else wants them, But the whole friend group was just shitty, but I don't think none of them deserve what happened to them. A lot of people wondered, did the cash go away? Because if Ian passed, that $1 billion should just evaporate. But it doesn't. But if Bear or Nikki pass, then the curse will just, end. And I want to know what happened. Did he buy 2 willow sticks? I mean, he obviously did, but I only seen him buy one. I thought he just had that one willow stick, and Ian had already used it for the $1 billion. So I don't know what the other one came from. I guess he did buy 2 or went back and got another one. I don't know. But apparently Willow Nikki used the other willow stick to make a wish right before, he passed away off the pills. And, just for that one moment, each of them got their wish, and they mutually had that one, obsession with each other, like genuinely, well, not genuinely, but, manufactured obsession with each other, and they lived and had that one last kiss before he passed. So I think the movie was very good. It was very linear. Like, It wasn't no plot twist or nothing throughout the movie. It was just basically linear and predictable. No plot twist at the end. I think they left a lot of meat on the bones with that, but it definitely was good. It definitely was good. I recommend everybody go watch it if you haven't. I want to know what y'all theories are. Do y'all think that they were just fighting over position for the body, or do y'all think that was actually the cat spirit that, you know, took over Nikki's body? A lot of people wonder what the man wish was when he was like, "Oh, I got his wish." The one who he got the willow stick from in the first place from the little shop. Um, Other than that, I mean, what else? What else I've been hearing? Um, eh, the scene where Sarah passed was crazy. She came through the glass, and then she was saying, "Oh, I was right there on your left." And guess who came from the left to do her in? Nikki. And on top of that, Nikki actually put that girl's scalp on her head. And I heard it was even more deleted scenes that was even more gruesome. So just imagine how gruesome it was when her corpse was just right there and uh, her face was just gone. You know, I don't even now. That's another thing. Like, did she possess different, abilities and stuff? Because she just broke through the glass and then, just knocked her off like that with the steering wheel. Like, can a real human just even do that? Like, I don't know. But it's basically a tale and a message to people: be careful what you wish for. And I think it was not just a wish, but the way he worded the wish. Like, if he would have just said, I wish that Nikki loved me the same way I love her, I think it would have been better. But even then, you can't you you removing someone's free will when you do that. You know, like, the better wish would have been like, I wish I had the confidence to tell Nikki how I feel about her. That would have been the best thing that could happen. And then she could have had free will to, say whether she wanted to be with him or not, you know? But I do think, when he was just, having sex with her, like, the real Nikki had to endure that. And that was painful, because she had no consent, she had no free will, and it was just like torture. And every time she got a chance to tell people what was going on, she only had a few second window conveying messages in the picture saying, not me. Um, Anytime that she did break through, she'll try to, go ahead on and grab an object and just take herself out because she just couldn't live like that no more. And then even at the end, he took the pills and realized, no, I don't want to do this, and tried to cough him up. But Willow Nikki made the wish for him to love her back, and that stopped him from coughing up all the or throwing up all the pills, which led him to passing away. But had he didn't get on the pills, had he didn't had had she didn't make that wish, he would have thrown up all the rest of the pills, and then he would have realized he can't go through with it, and he would have just kept on doing what he was doing. Or I think he would have probably did Nikki in. And that would have been just sad. Like, that would have been a coward move, because you messed up this girl's life. And even at the end, she's likely going to go to jail for murder because no cop is going to believe what she's telling them. Or let's just say she do get off. Psychological help is going to be a mug. She probably going to have to get put in an asylum because she witnessed and endured all that. Like, all her friends are gone, at the hands of her, except uh except Bell. But yeah, man, they had that one moment at the end where, she got her wish, he got her wish, and those Willow Bear and Willow Nikki, had that kiss right before he passed away. So the two Willows had that one moment together with each other. You know, but the fact that he was trying to throw up the pills, the fact that she said that wish right in time, for the pills to just stay in his system long enough, he probably would have just went on ahead and did what he did to her. And then when she was acting all crazy at Ian party, he would just just sitting there, you know, like he didn't care, telling her to clean all this up, like she really was his slave, you know, like she was legit his slave, and he would just, you know, like he was the real villain of the movie, dog. Like that show you how obsessed he was over her. Because if he willing to just keep her as a prisoner in her own body, that go to show you how vile and evil and obsessed he was over her. You know, and like I said, man, the friend group wasn't no better. Now I would have liked to get, different perspectives of the friend group. I would have wanted to know what her parents was. Like her parents ain't even know a difference in this. I heard that all this happened over a week span, a week and a half span, so it wasn't like all this was going on for months. All this happened relatively fast, you know. But I do think people were waiting to try to see if it was some type of ending credit scene where Nikki did, actually took the $1 billion and then just moved out the way, out the grid or something like that. Because how she's going to explain them bodies? Like the police ain't trying to hit no. Oh, one wish Willow made me do it. Like, come on, man. But this was definitely a good movie. I definitely recommend people have a date night and watch this movie. I want to know what all I missed in this review. Like if there was any hidden messages I missed, go ahead on and put it down in the comment section. If y'all have a theory that I missed, put it down in the comment section. A lot of people also feel like, it was the cat spirit inside of Nikki, because on the One Wish Willow, it was a cat emblem. It was a cat icon on the One Wish Willow box. Another people also noticed a cat clock in his in his in his house, and on top of that, she was bringing him like dead gifts, which cats do. So it was a lot of cat references in the movie. And it's crazy because cats are known to be weird. Like cats are known to be sus. Like it's a real distinct difference between a cat person and a dog person. you know what else? Trying to think of any theories else that I heard, man, or any fan theories that I didn't seen online, because I didn't seen a lot of people talk and discuss this. I was also wondering why they was blurring out her face, and like in a lot of different scenes where she was in the dark and in the shadows, her face was blurred. I wonder if that was on purpose, like because it kind of seemed on some demonic type of stuff. But yeah, man, a lot of questions wasn't answered for us, and I think the movie did that on purpose so everybody could have their own idea of what happened. Like a lot of directors do that on purpose. Like they don't, just give you the clear cut answer. They want you to just come up with your own answer to the story, come up with your own theories or narration. Also, a lot of people were feeling like, how did they hear Nikki screams? Like, is she in some type of purgatory? Like, is this a different parallel universe? Like, it's a lot of theories. Like, I love this type of stuff. Even the scrotum's cat theory with the cat in the box. Like, it's a lot of theories out there. Like when he was calling the customer service person, I do wonder, how that voice was heard on the phone when she was like, "Oh, do you want to talk to her?" And on top of that, he, he had the option. Well, he thought he had the option to cancel. He didn't even want to cancel. He just said he wanted it to be altered. Like he wanted to literally keep this girl in his home as his prisoner. Even dealing with all the chaos. Her taping up the house, don't want him to leave. Like, that's why they say be careful what you wish for. Because sometimes you could get it, you know. But I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Let me know anything I missed, any hidden messages that y'all caught. Let me know any theories that y'all have and any theories that I explained. If y'all could go into further detail, why do you think it is that, or why you disagree on that? Go ahead and put it down in the comment section. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out.